Alright, you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Jesse. As you guys already see in the title, what happens when you hot start and then the car won't turn. So what's happened in my 1950 recently, it hasn't been hot starting, and I already know what's wrong. But in this video, I'm gonna show you step by step to delete. Maybe some things are, might be the problem. All problems are not the same because it could be electrical or ignition, and you're wondering like what the heck's going on. It just started nice and cold. It started 30 minutes ago. And so the thing is, what's happening is that when you drive in your car, maybe even 30 minutes, your engine will go into running temperature. And what happens is that your block is nice and cool throughout, the cooling. When it's running, it'll keep it cool. But once you parked, and let's say you just step out for like 10 minutes because you're getting a cup of coffee, or maybe you're pumping gas, and when you come back, what happens, that motor, it heat strokes and expands more. And so what happens is that it could touch, your electrical. Sometimes it could be your gas lines. And so that's the scenario that I'm explaining in this video, what's happening to these symptoms, why is it not starting when it's hot. So stay tuned on that, and you're gonna see step by step, and I'm gonna show you and point out some things that maybe you should change, or maybe look into this area right here. But let's go check this out. All right, so right now, as you guys know, that I have a 4302 small block. And number one thing that it's the most common problem that happens is that it's most likely a fuel that's happening that's not causing to turn on your car. And the only reason why I say that is because there's something that's called vapor lock. So vapor lock is depending on how you have your gas lines, most likely they might be next to your headers or your valve covers, or maybe really close to your block. And most of the times that if you guys have like metal lines, what happens is that gas boils up. Believe it or not, it does boils up. And when it boils, it creates vapor. And so depending on how you have your fuel, if you have a two-way, which meaning one goes to your carb and one goes to your return line, there's like a pocket right there that is not allowing the gas to go inside the carb. And so when you're just turning, and then it's not turning on, most likely it's because you have a vapor lock. Now, if you look at what I have a filter that, it stops the locks. And I have a secondary filter to see if gas is even going to my carburetor. If you come closer right here, I have easy access to see like if I have gas happening right here. You see this little glass part right here. Now I don't have that problem, but just in case you guys have that problem, maybe switch out to a clear filter, and then that'll be easy to know if you have a vapor lock or not. But in my case, I don't have two return lines. I only have one line that's going into the carb, and I don't have that issue. Also, second problem is because maybe, your carburetor is getting hot as well. Most likely to solve problems like that, buy a spacer. The spacer is, it's maybe a 1 inch or 2 inch. If you just get a spacer, that's gonna like allow the carburetor to stay away from the block and allow this to stay cool. But again, I don't have a high performance motor, none of that, so this is not locking at all as well. Nothing's boiling right here, and then like I said, my gas line is not boiling as well. All right, so that's like the easiest part, and the easiest part must be like the the most common part of all motors, especially when it comes to like these motors. They get really hot, and then if you don't have a lot of airflow, then it's gonna get hot no matter what. Now that's the problem, to prevent stuff like that. If you have gas lines that are all metal, just replace them with the rubber. It won't get hot as quick, and it's gonna last you much longer. But then again, if you wrap your headers, that can help with the fuel line scenario as well. But like I said, done with the gas line. Now we're gonna look into like the ignition problem. Now it could just be your distributor that's maybe failing, but most likely it's your ignition coil. The ignition coil is what's powering the distributor and gives the spark to your cylinders. So right here you could test it out, but this part's so cheap, it's more easier just to replace it. You could find one for maybe like 10 bucks. In this case, I could just take out these two wires and just take this off and replace it, and that could just be your simple problem as well. But in this case, my problem is this guy right here. This is my starter solenoid. I just replaced this maybe like about 2 years ago. And then I already know why. I have a feeling why it is, because the problem is that when it's hot, you see this wire right here that's going down right here? This wire right here down here, it has a ground. And then most likely, you know, throughout the rain and all that, there's probably rust or corrosion down there. And also the connection that's go to my starters, I think they're bad as well. So I gotta go down there and check this. I'm gonna replace this because again, this is like another $10 part. And I'm gonna check down there in the wires to see what's going on. But this is what starts your starter. And so my scenario is that when I start the motor, when it's hot, when I start the motor when it's hot, it cranks, and check this out, it cranks and it just dies off, right? And so my problem is like, man, is it my battery? No, I put the voltage meter on, and then I'm doing it while I'm doing that. I'm still reading I have 13 volts. And so it's not the battery, it's not like anything else that maybe could, you know, I'm checking my wires. Now, it could be the starter solenoid or the wire is going directly to the starter. So that's something that we're gonna replace today. So if you guys have a problem with that, if you, again, people that have the 302 block, that might be it. So let's do this. All right, first thing first, take out the battery. You don't want any short circuits, because I think that's what happened last time, because when I had the engine on, I was trying to like fix like the valve covers. I was replacing valve covers and everything was still on. I accidentally touched metal to something, and that short circuit like actually like sparked. And so you gotta take out the battery. So check out the battery. All right, battery just connected now. Now we're gonna take this little puppy out right now. I'm gonna take a photo because I have a lot of wires and I don't want to change the wiring diagram. So I'm gonna just take a photo real quick. You know, that's a good tip if you guys don't have a good memory like me. But take a quick photo and boom. So this is what we're gonna replace. And then also I'm gonna check down there in the starter as well. I'm gonna see what's going down right there. I'm gonna get a bristle wire brush, clean it up because I want to get good connection. So right now I'm gonna just go down there, jack up the truck, look underneath, take out the wire because I'm already down there, so I'm gonna just change the wire just to be safe. But stay tuned. All right, guys. So this is the wire. Oh man, look how rusty it is. And it's loose too. Like I said, you know how it's rusty, it might not got good contact no more. It was still cranking, but it wasn't enough. This is the other end. They're pretty old already. So like I said, I'm gonna get a wire brush. I'm gonna brush up, get a little more metal in it, and we're gonna go to any auto parts store just to get a replacement, and of course replace the other part. So stay tuned. All right, you guys, it came from AutoZone, and then this is the cable that I replaced. It was about a 24 inch, and so here's the new cable. No rust. I'm gonna try to move it for you guys so you can see how firm that is. Nice and firm. And if I get this one has plague. So that's gonna be a nice replacement for this one. It might not be the cable. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be this right here. And it comes with extra nuts. So use these, not the ones that you had previously, because you know it could have rust or corrosion and not allowing contact. But brand new. So we're gonna install this puppy right now. Alright guys, I know I didn't really show you how it looks on there, but I'm gonna show you real quick how it looks, where the starter located at, and then where the post where I'm gonna put this on. Alright guys. Alright, so this is my starter right here. And yes, look how close it is with with the headers. It's like touching it as it is. It looks like it's kind of like getting cooked as well. So I know in the future that's gonna fail. But here's that post I'm letting you know. You see that post right there? Right there, that's where I'm gonna put my my cable. You know, I look a little more up. I can see other cables that I have. That's where the starter solenoid is gonna be at. You see that? The other cable? It's right there. So I'm gonna put this on right now and I'm gonna show you real quick. Alright, you guys, so I already put the cable on, and then I'll see you up there. So that's the starter. Okay, that's it. Now let me look at my phone. I think it's okay. I always put positive, and every time you take out your battery, take out negative first. Alright? Alright guys, so there was a little hiccup like all car projects. When I was putting back my my terminals back, it just snapped. And so I'm like, fuck. So you have to go back to the auto parts store, buy another terminal. I had to just cut the wire, split it, connect it to the terminal. Check out the new terminal. It's a little gold piece right there. But that's ready. I'm gonna just tighten up the positive and we're gonna crank it up and we're gonna test it. So let's go. Alright guys. It didn't work. I went back to see what's happening and I figured out what was a real problem. It was a solenoid because it kind of like got damaged. So I didn't really look at the solenoid. I just put it back how it was originally, but I sent it back to, you know, a couple of people that worked on my alternator, wiring, and I don't know where to begin right there because I don't know what happened right there, but pretty much the wiring was completely wrong. And so I did my research, of course, and I'm gonna show you right here the mistake that I found. This is the original layout, and so when I turn on the key, it'll turn on regularly, right? And so just to be sure, because I want to be 100% sure, I try to do it 4 times. And then what this works, it is a relay pretty much hot that's supposed to be on this side and powering the starter, right? And anything that's connected to your hot should be on this side right here. Now if you look closely, that's where I had my starter and this is where I had my hot. So if you ask that question, it wouldn't start still. It would start actually, because the thing is that it'll just give enough power that's stored right here that's not gonna give enough to this side, right? So in scenarios that have this cold weather, it's enough just to start this right here. But if I keep doing this, what happened is I'm creating too much overload, and what happens is either this pretty much screws up and doesn't work no more, or it just stays hot and shuts off everything, right? That's the job of this relay. So the solenoid is for that reason. And like I said, pretty much what I did, I just reversed all my hot to the left side and the starter to the right, and that pretty much fixed my problem right there. So check your wiring, everybody. Don't make the mistake I did, because that's pretty much screwed up a lot of like not time, but pretty much like it could damage a lot of things. But that's the reason why the solenoid is right there. It's just to prevent that. So did it damage stuff? It didn't damage stuff. It's just it wasn't allowing a lot of power to go through to the starter, because starter needs all the juice you need just to start your motor, right? So right now I'm gonna turn it on right now again, because I've been doing it turning on, and now I have my voltage at 12. It's reading at 12 something, so this is not fully accurate, but it starts now. That's what matters. You see that? It just wasn't. Let's do it one more time. Reassured, because I can't do it too much already. Ooh, screeching. Oh yeah, I see the starter is like more stronger now. Like I said, the starter is more stronger. If it has that overturn, I think it feels it in the motor that when it finally heats, it gets like that combustion. The starter needs to do it one more time. Keep turning the motor. I mean, in the past, they didn't want to fucking turn at all. So that's where it kind of killed everything. They didn't want to start nothing. But now it starts now. I'm happy with this. And pretty much everything I have done with this motor is pretty much complete. I don't have nothing to do no more. And then stay tuned because actually I'm going to upgrade the suspension. I'm going to go bags, front and back, because I'm ready to drive this every day. So if you guys like this video and this, if this video did help, give a like to this video and comment down below what you think about this whole scenario that we all learned together. I hope this video did help, but please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.